Taurus, tell me, have you ever felt that quiet but undeniable difference in yourself? The kind that doesn't come from your personality, your charm, or even the steady magnetism you naturally carry, but from something deeper, older, and far more mysterious. It's a presence that exists beneath the surface of everything you do, an invisible hum that others can sense without understanding, a frequency that either pulls people towards you with an unshakable fascination or pushes them away with a discomfort they can't put into words. You've seen it in their eyes, the way some lean closer as if you've just whispered a secret they didn't know they needed to hear, and the way others pull back, unsettled by a truth they can't name. You've always known that you are not simply different in the way the world likes to romanticize. You are different in a way that carries weight, a way that feels almost too real, too intense, too impossible to explain. This isn't about being misunderstood because of your choices, your values, or your path. It's about carrying an energy that belongs to more than just this life. It's why certain rooms feel heavier when you enter, why some conversations suddenly shift when your voice joins in, why the air around you seems to hold an unspoken tension or a deep, unshakable calm, depending on what you're feeling. It's as if your very presence alters the frequency of a space, bending it towards something more honest, more raw, more awake. And whether you've tried to hide it or embrace it, you can't turn it off. It's written into you. The same way the rings are written into the trunk of an ancient tree, marking every life you've lived before this one. You may have wondered why people remember you even after brief encounters, why they speak of you with an intensity that feels disproportionate to the time you've shared. It's because your aura doesn't just pass through their lives, it leaves an imprint, one they can't wash away. You carry the ability to awaken, to amplify, to mirror back what others aren't ready to see in themselves. And in the days ahead, I'm going to show you exactly how this works. Taurus 7, unmistakable signs that your aura is not only unusual, but extraordinary. These are not just traits, they are truths that have been following you for lifetimes, shaping every connection, every memory, and every step you've taken in this world. Once you recognize them, you will never see yourself or the way others respond to you the same way again. First sign, Taurus, there are moments when the edges of your reality soften and your awareness spills out far beyond the boundaries of your body. Moments that arrive without ceremony, without ritual, and without anything the outside world would call a trigger. You might be sitting in stillness, your hands wrapped around a cup of tea, or you might be in the middle of a crowded street, moving with the rhythm of strangers. When suddenly it happens, the air shifts, the colors sharpen, and you begin to sense the subtle currents that most people will never feel. You pick up the quiet heaviness in someone's voice before they even speak. You notice the way tension clings to a space like a shadow. You feel the warmth of kindness radiating from a stranger's glance, as if it were sunlight touching your skin. It is as though the invisible layers of existence become visible to you for just long enough to remind you that life is far richer and more complex than what your eyes alone can see. In these moments, Taurus, you are not simply perceiving, you are inhabiting multiple layers of reality at once. You might sense that someone you love is thinking of you before they call, or feel the outcome of a situation before the first decision has been made. At times, you even absorb pieces of information that you cannot logically explain, as if the future is leaning in close to whisper into your ear. The experience is so natural to you that you may have once assumed everyone felt the world this way until you realize they didn't. And while you may be tempted to dismiss these episodes as coincidence, the truth is that your aura is attuned to frequencies beyond ordinary perception. It's not a gift you acquired through study or practice, it is the way you were born. An ancient skill carried from other lifetimes, embedded in the blueprint of your soul. And though you cannot predict when these moments will come, when they do, they leave you changed, more awake, more aware, and more certain that you are not just living inside this world, but standing in the thin space between worlds, listening to both. Second sign. Taurus, your dreams are not soft, drifting illusions that dissolve with the morning light. They are living tapestries woven with threads from moments that have not yet happened, carrying details so precise they leave you shaken when life inevitably catches up to them. You may slip into sleep without expectation, only to find yourself walking through a place you've never been yet, knowing exactly where every doorway leads, hearing a conversation word for word before it has ever been spoken, or standing in the middle of an event that feels impossibly real and yet belongs to a tomorrow you have not reached. These are not vague impressions dressed up by memory. They are full sensory experiences: the light, the air, the faces, the emotions, all of it preserved intact, only to manifest later in your waking life with uncanny accuracy. And when it happens, when you recognize the moment unfolding exactly as it did in your dream, it can feel as though time itself is bending, revealing that you have always been in two places at once, the present and the future. At first, Taurus, you may have tried to dismiss these dreams, convincing yourself they were accidents, coincidences, or tricks of the mind. But as the years pass and the pattern repeats, as you watch the scenes you dreamed play out with the same expressions, the same words, the same outcomes, you begin to understand that your sleeping mind is not bound by the same rules as your waking one. In sleep, you move beyond the constraints of linear time, stepping into a higher vantage point where the threads of what was, what is, and what will be are all visible at once. Some of these dreams come as gentle gifts, showing you joy that will one day find you, helping you hold faith when the present feels heavy. Others arrive as warnings, giving you the chance to alter a path before it reaches you. And while you've learned to be selective about who you share these visions with, knowing that many will only respond with doubt or discomfort, you've also come to realize they are not here to be proven to anyone. They are here to guide you, to prepare you, and to remind you that your strange aura does more than sense the world around you. It listens to the whispers of time itself, bringing pieces of the future back into your hands long before the rest of the world can see them. Third sign. Taurus, there is an ache inside you that no earthly landscape has ever managed to quiet. A longing that does not come from missing a person or a place you have known in this life, but from something far older, something your soul still remembers, even if your mind cannot name it. It appears in sudden waves, often when you are alone and the world around you grows still, perhaps while staring out at a sky just before dusk, or when a certain melody drifts through the air and wraps around you like a memory you can almost touch. In those moments, you feel it, the undeniable sense that you belong somewhere else. Somewhere, not bound by gravity or time. A place where the air itself feels familiar, where the light falls in a way that makes you feel whole, and where the deepest parts of you are not only accepted but celebrated, without ever setting foot there in this lifetime. That such a place exists because your very being carries the echo of it. This longing is not about dissatisfaction with life here, though it can sometimes feel like grief. It is the quiet recognition that this world, for all its beauty, is not the only home you have known. In that other place, wherever and whatever it is, you are not too much, not too intense, not out of place. The strangeness of your aura would not be strange at all there. It would be the norm, woven into the very fabric of existence. And so you move through this life with one part of you rooted in the responsibilities of the human world and another part leaning toward the invisible horizon, as if listening for a call you cannot ignore. This yearning can make you restless, sending you searching for fragments of that home in art, in music, in the eyes of people who feel inexplicably familiar, and sometimes, without warning, something in this world will brush against that memory so perfectly that for a heartbeat, you feel as if you've returned only for it to fade again, leaving you with the reminder that you are here for now, but not forever. This Taurus is not a wound to heal or a puzzle to solve. It is the compass you carry in your soul, pointing not north, but toward the place where you truly began, and where, one day, you will return. Fourth sign, Taurus, you carry within you memories that cannot be traced to any chapter of your current life. Recollections so vivid and precise, they refuse to be dismissed as dreams or fantasies. They emerge without warning, sliding into your mind with the clarity of lived experience. Images of streets you have never walked yet, know instinctively how to navigate. The sound of a language you have never studied yet understand, in some wordless way, and the feeling of sunlight in a place you have never stood yet remember on your skin as if you had. Sometimes it happens while you are speaking, and you find yourself describing a location with impossible accuracy, seeing it so clearly in your mind that it almost feels like a memory trying to pull you back. When someone asks how you know such details, you cannot explain. It is not knowledge you learned. It is knowledge you carry, woven into the fibers of your soul from lifetimes you do not recall in the traditional sense, but feel in the deepest sense. These are not fragments of imagination. Taurus, they are imprints, echoes of other existences your soul has lived and other realms it has touched. They do not come in a straight line or in the order of history. They come like whispers on the edge of awareness, reminding you that your essence has traveled farther than your feet could ever take you in this lifetime. At times, they feel like pieces of a puzzle scattered across centuries and dimensions, and you sense that if you could gather them all, you would hold the story of who you truly are. These memories shape you even without your conscious understanding. They guide your tastes, your instincts, the way you are drawn to certain places or people without knowing why. And though you cannot physically return to the moments they come from, they remain alive within you, coloring the way you see the world and the way the world responds to you. This, Taurus, is one of the clearest marks of your strange aura. You are not only a being of the present, you are a carrier of countless pasts, walking through this life with the silent knowledge of all the roads your soul has already walked. Taurus, if you've recognized yourself in these signs, then you already know this isn't about labels or about fitting into some mystical box. It's about remembering who you are beneath the surface of this lifetime. I know what it's like to carry an energy that doesn't quite match the rhythm of the world around you. To walk through life aware that you are both part of it and somehow standing outside of it, watching with a depth of perception you can't turn off. I know the weight of having people either drawn to you as if you hold something they've been searching for their whole lives, or retreating from you because you reflect back truths they aren't ready to face. And I know the loneliness that can come with that, the quiet wondering if there will ever be a place or a person where you can be fully seen without having to explain yourself. But here's the truth I want you to carry from this moment forward. You were not made to dilute your presence just to be easier for the world to hold. Your strange aura, with all its intensity and mystery, is not an accident. And it's not a flaw. It's a living part of your purpose here. A frequency designed to awaken something in others. Whether that awakening comes gently or arrives like a lightning strike, you don't need to force people to understand you. The ones meant to be in your orbit will feel your energy and recognize it without words. And when you find them, you'll know you won't have to hide a single fragment of yourself. And the connection will feel like a return to a place you've never been but have always known. Until then, trust what you carry. Trust the dreams that spill into your mornings, the flashes of knowing that make no logical sense, the longing for a home that exists beyond this world, the memories that come from lifetimes your mind can't recall but your soul will never forget. All of these things are threads in the same tapestry, proof that you are more than just this moment, more than just this body, more than just this life. You are a traveler across realities, a keeper of ancient light, a reminder that there is more to existence than most will ever dare to believe. And the world needs that reminder now more than ever. So walk forward, Taurus. Not in search of who you are, but in the full, unshakable knowing that you've always been it.